Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami nguNtando Mdletshe, and on this channel siyasifunde iy'ncwadi ey'bhalwe ngolimi lwethu lwesiZulu bese siza la sizokhuluma ngazo le y'ndaba esuke siy'fundile, senzela laba phela basuke bengenaso isikhathi ukuthi bayifunde iy'ncwadi nalaba abasuke benqanda nje ukufunda. Siyaphinda futhi sibuka ama-reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese siza la sizokhuluma ngawo lama shows, senze ama-reviews, ama-recaps bese siyaphinda futhi sikhuluma nga-any other issues avuka uma ngabe lama shows sesiwabukile kwi-TV. If it's your first time joining us and you really like our content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi bese uyaphinda futhi upress i-notification bell eduze kuka-subscribe ukuze phela uthole umyalezo uma ngabe umsebenzi omusha sesiwufakile. Kanti-ke futhi uma ufuna ukuba yimember kuno-join button la ngezansi, kanti uma ufuna ukubonga i-channel ngemali kuno-thanks button la ngezansi. And thank you so much to all of those that have thanked the channel. Sometimes ama-notifications angiwatholi kodwa ngiyaye ngibone ukuthi khona aba-donate to the channel. Thank you so much, guys. It's much appreciated. And guys, I will be doing reviews or Jola 99 because it seems like people really like it. I was struggling to find a way that I could structure a review, but I think we'll just learn as we go how we're going to do that review. I think it's more going to be about just us having fun, laughing a little bit on the channel, because mostly these stories are just funny, honestly. So we will be doing that even next week. But today I want to do a review of Mnakwethu. You guys, for a change, yes, because sathola i-break ezamaZulu. Sathola i-break ezamaZulu, so yazi nathi besihleli being spectators so yeah, hey, zingani mabedi now. Zingani now. So nani umdolo uyanisa, bese sithi sesodwa amaZulu, kanti nani wena amadoda ayanisa kani. Welcome. Welcome to the club, the African Men Club. And anyway, yes, today it was tonight it was very interesting, you guys. For a change, for me, it's the first episode that I've ever watched on Mnakwethu that had somebody or that had a family that was not Zulu. Bengise ngicabanga ukuthi kusho amaZulu ibona yithi kuphela yini esinento yesithembu, because vele besingababona abantu abazocela isithembu who are not Zulu. So it was different. It was yes, you guys. So, and also it was different also because this guy already has 2 wives, so he wants to take number 3. He wants to take number 3. Listen, you guys, I think people, honestly, there's so many lessons when it comes to isithembu laphayana kuthando nesithembu that I remember all the time masuke sibuka ilokhuzane show kaMnakwethu. One of the things that uMacele unkosikazi kaMseleko said was that the first wives must know is that once they say yes to wife number 2, they are basically saying yes to countless number of wives coming. Once wavula umnyango wathi yes to the first wife, you're not gonna really have a good enough reason to say no to number 3. And number 2, when she comes, once she comes as a number 2, she will never be able to say yes to another person coming. So basically, once we figure unkosikazi wesibili, I mean, a few years down the line, there might be number 10 coming. So yeah, I guess this is the situation here. And I liked number 1. I always say I'm a Mamkhulu, and today I was like, yes. A win for Mamkhulu. But anyway, the guy is Lawrence Mphahlele. He is paid, and yeah, so Umseleko just says, okay, kuzoba ne challenge anyana, because obviously Umseleko uses isiso, what we call isoka kumaZulu, ukuthi to convince the wives, asebenzise ulalisa ulimi ngesizulu, uconvince amakhosikazi ukuthi avume, ngoba phela uyena vele osuke bavumisa, even though ama-husbands usually they just don't talk sense. He is the one that is usually the one that makes the wives to say yes. So he was saying it's going to be difficult because of the language barrier, because he doesn't really speak Sepedi. But when they were sitting and talking with the guy, it sounded like Babumsele didn't need an interpreter really, so he could understand Sepedi. The guy already has two wives, guys, and obviously umseleko bechazekile uzewasho ukuthi this guy umhlaba umxhwele ngoba unamakhosikazi out. I expected that honestly from ubaba umseleko. But I just feel like for him, it's just the fact that the guy has two wives, you know. But I mean, for me, the question would be: yes, he has two wives, but how are those wives? How are those relationships within Lesos Temples? Are the wives happy? You know, and if they are, then it means what he's doing well with his temple. But if the wives are not really happy, but he's continuing to take wife number three now, I think it's questionable. But I understand this man has two wives. And according to the husband, Mphahlele says ukuthi he doesn't think number one will have a problem, which is what Macele says. Well, once wavuma for number two to be taken, then you really don't have a say about number three. What are you going to say is the reason if you agree to take for them to take number two? So obviously, Mphahlele has experience with number one saying yes, so he doesn't think number one will have a problem with it. And then he says, but number two, ziyangena emanqindini. There might be a boxing match of some sort with the number two ngoba she doesn't take nonsense, and again umuntu okwazi ukuthi ukhulume naye ubonisane naye, especially vele if ubonisana naye ukuthi ngicela ukucheat. She'll probably say yeah, they say no. So he says he's been with one wife for 16 years and he's been with the other for 8 years. One wife has 3 kids and the other has 2. So I guess in total they have 5 kids. He didn't say anything about Amakoskaza Kilawa 2 not getting along or anything. So it sounded like everything is fine. They get along. They know each other. And then he says something that I didn't understand, but I was hoping with any Umseleko will ask enough questions ukuthi acacise, but he said something like yokuthi yena nonkosikazi wokuqala, you know, him and his first wife are having problems. And according to iculture yabo amapedi, guys, you will confirm amapedi mhlambe this guy udlala ngathi phela ngoba asazi lona ukuthi amasiko eni athi. Please tell us in the comment section if this is true. But he says according to the pedi culture, if you are having problems with your first wife, you are allowed to take another wife. You know, you are just, what is not allowed is for you to divorce the first wife. You still have to stay with the first wife, be responsible for the first wife. But if you are having problems and you're not getting along, you are allowed to take another wife. So now, my thing is, but you already have a second wife. So if you are not getting along with the first wife, why would you take a third wife? Because if you are not getting along with the first wife, just go to number 2. So if you don't get along with number 2, you will take a fourth wife. You know, if you don't get along with number 1, take a third wife. If you don't get along with number 2, take a fourth wife. If you don't get along with number 3, take the fifth wife. You know, that's how it goes in page. Guys, is that true? Because I suspect I can smell lies. I can smell lies. But again, you guys will confirm. If anybody is paid, they can tell us if that's true. So now it's like it's irrelevant what's happening with wife number 2. If there's a problem with wife number 1, we'll take number 3. That's how I understood it. I know it's crazy. I know. I get it, guys. It's crazy to hear it. Like, how is that making sense? Because you already have 2 wives. If you have a problem with this one, you know, until that one cools down and then you come back here. Why would you take another one? But and okay. So then, yeah, guys, it was time to meet the third wife, you know, the one that is supposed to be taken. Obviously, you guys, in every episode, the wife that is about to be taken just seems to be younger. You know, it's always the recent episode is like they're getting younger and younger and younger. This one seems younger than the wives, the 2 wives, okay? And which makes me feel like really these were just girls that are side chicks to these men. And now there is Utando on his table where they can go and try and make these side chicks turn them into their wives so that they can get new side chicks. It's like side chicks that got expiry dates. So the expiry date has come. They can't really laxaza them, so they will just take them to join the crowd here so that they can get another side chick. It just feels like that, you guys. So uthi-ke ubani bathi ubani Temuho they met emsebenzini. Hey, yabona imjolo yasemsebenzini. He will meet another one at work. And if I am not mistaken, he probably already has another one at work. And he says he's carrying, and she knows nothing about his tembu yena uTemuho. Umseleko says ukuthi I guess he was commenting on the fact that every time they bringing a wife, it's a young girl, you know, even though I didn't get the age yet, this one. Every time they bring a wife, it's a young girl. He says a lot of the times with younger men, they always date these girls, baba, you know, make them pregnant and then leave them. And if somebody comes and say, there's an obsession about men. If I want to and say, gizokushada, even if it's temp, umuntu uncamela logo than just getting a regular guy and dating a guy that is just going to be yours, because at the end of the day, vele uzokulaxaza. I guess it makes sense a little bit, you know, but yeah, that's what he was saying. So that's the reason why they are so young. That's why he says that's why it's likely for a younger girl to say yes to his temp, because they feel like even if they find someone, they're gonna find someone ozodlala ngabo anyway, so they might as well say yes to his temp. I mean, I'm interested to know what all of these relationships, do they last now after they get into his temp as young girls? Because there's so much that you can do with your life besides go back with temp. So yeah. So he does also say any issue corner is that the younger girls Betty yes to his temp. A lot of the times Abbas knows what they're really saying yes to, you know. So they're saying yes to intabangayaz now, which I agree on, you know. You know, what is this temp when you are 18, 19, 20, you know? So it's about the and then again with the third wife or the side chick, they have been dating with Mphahlele for like 6 months. Like 6 months, you're ready to get into his temp. Yeah. So, and okay. So then uthi umseleko kwemambuzo ukuthi okay, should the other wives say no, because you know there's 2 other wives, should they say no, what are you going to do? And she says yena she uzozwa ngayo Mphahlele. So it means ukuthi if Mphahlele ithi bayaqhubeka bayathandana, then bazothandana. And then okay, and then her husband at some point says, it doesn't matter if they say yes or no. Which sometimes confuses me when these men do this, because it's like they are coming to us to take his table, but if unkosikazi wami says no, it's not going to make a difference, I'm still going to continue. So it's like, so why are you asking your wife if at the end of the day vele uzogcina wenze lokho ufuna ukwenza wena, you know? So that's what he's saying too. Okay, guys, we got there. 2 beautiful women, guys. 2 very beautiful. I was trying to forget who's Mamkhulu's what. Bahle amakhosikazi alobhuti. Uzubona usamadoda vela waneliseki, mahle amadoda alobhuti. Uletha nje usisi. Angifuni ukuthi usisi lo akekho muhle ngoba naye muhle ngendlela yakhe, you know. Kodwa makuthiwa ngikhetha ukuthi ibuphi ubuhle ngibuthanda, ngikhetha laba. So I was looking and like, no. But yeah. And okay. Now, ngabe sebefikile ke, uMamkhulu was having fun, you guys. Yo, Mamkhulu was having fun ngoba bezihlekela. Makungena umseleko uvele wahleka. I honestly think ukuthi uMamkhulu was having that thing ukuthi yane zingawe namhlanje 2 umamncane, but bayazwana nomamncane, but I'm sure phela bayapretendelana, you know. So I'm sure she was like, yane nawe wafika, now sekufika omunye ake sibone. She was just laughing the whole way, you know. So and then umseleko introduces the idea ukuthi okay uceliwe la ukuthi bazokhuluma ngale issue whatever, and then calls and then tells lo mphahleleke ukuthi mphahlele phela isho ukuthi ene uzothini. Umphahleleke, instead of asking his wife phela ukuthi ngicela uthathe unkosikazi wesibili, which is what Mnakwethu is about, which is what Mnakwethu is about. It's about you asking to take another one. Yena, he says no, he's not there to ask them. He is there to introduce number 3. So I was like, how can those which means honestly, really, it doesn't matter if the wife to say yes or no, because he said, you know, uzo introduce number 3. So number 1, he was like, Mamkhulu was like, I have nothing to say. And she was just laughing. Because he was like, yeah, and then number 2 said, over my dead body. Bashilo velo number 3 bathusha amanqindi, you know, like iqala manje. I was hoping ukuthi sibone ifayithanyana namhlanje, but they behaved, shame they behaved. And so now, okay, anqabe kuMamkhulu, and then the man gets start talking about the marital problems. Kahle le ndoda ibithi yona, it doesn't matter what number 2 says. What matters is what number 1 says. Because number 1 is the one that she's having problems with. So whether number 2 yavuma wakavumi, it doesn't matter. The only person that is supposed to say yes is number 1, because they are having problems. Number 1 is saying, listen, if ufuna ukuthatha isithembu, uthatha isithembu. Simele ukuthi ufuna isithembu wena. Musu ukuthi usifuna ngami, ngoba mina it's not like I need help with anything. You are the one that, if udinga usizo, you are the one that needs help, not me. So don't say uthatha isithembu usithathiswa yinkinga that we are having team. And then okay, athi number 1 you was saying, don't involve me, I have nothing to say. If uzomthatha, it has nothing to do with me. Number 2 was like, over my dead body, that is not going to happen. Futhi nje I understand ukuthi nimithenini kanjani, you know, all of that. And yeah, okay, so now umseleko was having an issue yokuthi i-reason kalo bhuti for wanting to take the third wife was not you know, because obviously his reason is that he's having problems with the first wife, so he must take the third wife. Maybe it was a differences in understanding each other's culture, because obviously isithembu kumaZulu, reason you create isithembu might have been different from reason yamaPedi originally ukuthi kuze kube kuthathwe izithembu. What were the reasons? UmaPedi might be different from amaZulu, so maybe those rules carried over up until now are different. So I don't know, but he was not understanding, because he was like, you know, it's better to say ufuna uqinisa umndeni, you know. So there was washintsha no husband washo logo noma, really it wasn't really convincing. So okay, so it was final. Number 1 is saying, I don't care. Well, she didn't say it, but she looked like she didn't care, guys. She's over that man. She's over that man. She's over the tactics of the man. She's just enjoying seeing this man doing exactly what he did to her, doing it to number 2. But she can't say that. But her laughter and her smile said everything. It said, yeah, ne? Now suyez gutinjani. So now they wanted to meet, or Somsele wants them to meet, and initially they didn't want to. That's the part that I always hate, because I always feel like it's already difficult to deal with the fact that your husband wants to take another wife. Why would you be forced to meet this person right now? Why wouldn't they give you some time? But I guess that's how the show goes. So we are even though they didn't really want to, but they said yes. Umlanda. Ihestala lasos benjani, guys. Angi-understand kodwa ke vele mina ama-wives asuke ezo-introduce nje ngisho ngibabuka ngehle lethi, so mhlawumbe that's why naleya hairstyle ingayibonanga kahle for that reason. So okay, and then ke wafika ke wa-introduce, so, and she was laughing. For some reason bengazi ukuthi unumber 1 uyamazi unumber 3, and because they looked at each other bahleka ngathi kuhleka number 2 Ngathi unumber 1 uthe unumber 1 uthe number 3 wozalana lusimgile, you know, because bobabili bebehleka and no one knows ukuthi bebehlekani. So ke ba-introduce ukuthi okay uyena, and then Umsele was like sengizonshiya ke nomuntu wenu, and they were like I know it's not our person, it's his person. And yeah, anyway, they did not say yes. Number 1 vele says she doesn't, bese kushoda ukuthi asho ukuthi listen, anginandaba nale ndoda lena, noma ingathatha anginandaba, but akasho njalo ukuthi I will not say anything. Number 2 was like no over my dead body. At the end, in the diary session that they do at the end, number 1 said it really is a choice. You know, a choice is, it's either you say yes to whatever he's requesting, or you will take the journey alone. You take this journey with him, or you will take the journey alone. And number 2, and I was saying, she's still going to have a conversation with the husband. And then, uma ngabe eqhubeka ukuthi ufuna ukuthatha number 3, then it's gonna be either the number 3 or she will leave. Guys, don't you think it's interesting ukuthi number 2, they always think ukuthi, you would think ukuthi husband is never gonna take another wife, but you came when economy was that. Today, like tonight, we watched Revenge ka wife number 1 live. We watched it, and she was having fun. You could see it is like imnandi, because she's like, yes, finally you get to experience what I experienced. And yeah, anyway, you guys, I do think with Enelaba, they will probably continue with the relationship yabo, regardless of how, because well, the first wife said it doesn't really care much what's going. And the husband did say it doesn't matter what number 2 is. You know, the way that she was being disrespected to number 2, it's almost like Israel was not. Number 2. Now it's like every girl that wants to be number 2 can just see how you're gonna be treated in a marriage, because it was like you are not important. The person that is important is the first wife. What she says will go. Whether we have woman or woman, it doesn't matter, because now we want gain, so you know. Which is what Mamkhulu said ukuthi he feels like isithembu samadoda, so amadoda efanele decide ukuthi kungenwa kuphunywa nini kwisithenjwa. So you can't be number 2 ufike uzoba esithenjini, and then bese kuba wena udecidayo who comes in and who goes. So this was like a perfect display of how, as a number 2, you can be treated as esithenjini. You're never gonna be as important as the number 1, and you're always gonna uzobe uhleli ngesinqa esisodwa all the time, expecting that someone else is gonna come just like you came. So yeah, but Mamkhulu behleka yo. Ngiyamsola ukuthi ubesekhulumile nomkhuyana wakhe ukuthi let's number 3. Yes. Ngiyasola. Anyway, you guys, that was the episode for today. Please like the video and comment below what you thought about this episode, and like the video before you share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers.